Hello everyone and welcome to our Train the Virtual Trainer program. My name is Newt. I'm one of the instructors at RSC EAP EDD. Today I am here to introduce you to 7 steps to start your Zoom for Government hands-on tutorial. With this being a hands-on tutorial, feel free to mute your audio, click CC to just read the instruction, and pause along the way to follow the steps. Before the tutorial, please prepare your Zoom for Government login. Download the Zoom application and also the visual aid that you're going to use in your real teachback. So let's get started. First and foremost, make sure that you have downloaded the latest version of Zoom. So just go to Google, type in download latest Zoom, go to this link, and once you're there, the program will automatically download your Zoom installation. Just click Open File and then you will have your Zoom pop-up window. The pop-up window will look something like this. Once you're here, use your login that you got from us to log in. Please make sure you're on the Zoom for Government and not the normal Zoom, which is zoom.us. We are going to use Zoom for Government here. Once you're logged in, you're going to get a screen like mine. The first thing we're going to do is to schedule a meeting. So just click on schedule and rename your meeting. I'm going to name it Trial 1. Then save. Once you save, you can copy this to your clipboard and use your email to send this invitation to your cohort students. Just copy and paste, put the recipient's name, then send it a day before the training. Once you schedule your meeting will appear here on the dashboard. On the day of your teachback, come here and then start your meeting. And now you'll get a Zoom application window just like mine. And now that you have your Zoom room ready, I'm going to walk you through the 3 steps of using your Zoom room to teach a class, starting from preparation of your room, then how you will engage your students, and lastly, how to properly close out the session. Just like in the real classroom, the preparation of the trainer starts way before the training. In your Zoom session, we recommend you to log in an hour or 2 before the session starts, just to make sure that your audio and visuals are working properly. A few tips on how to make sure your audio is working. Please make sure that when you're trying to speak to your audience, you are unmuted. Now, before the training, invite your colleagues or friends to come in and help you check. You might communicate with them through the chat box here and ask them if they're hearing you or not. If they're not hearing you, that might be because you're choosing the wrong device to connect to. I, for one, usually don't know the specific name of my device, so I would randomly click on them and keep communicating on the chat box to make sure everybody is hearing you clearly. Now that you've made sure everybody can hear you, let's make sure they can see you as well. That would mean you come here to the video icon at the bottom left corner of the Zoom screen. Click once, and I am a bad example of making everybody see you, but just for the sake of showing you, if you have a messy background at home just like mine, you can choose the virtual background and preload the Zoom background, which you can find a lot on Google. Choose the one that you want to use, the appropriate one. And then, once you close out this window, it will stay. Also, being in the appropriate view will help you communicate better with your audience. To come up with the appropriate view option, come to the upper right corner of your screen, click the view icon here. I am now in the gallery view, simulating the real class when I want to have a face-to-face like interaction with our audience. Sometimes I would like to see their reactions. Other than seeing the facial expression, I can ask them to react on some of my comments or some of the replies. So you will see that there are emoticons, laughing, surprised, so and so. Or I can ask them to please raise your hand if you agree, or give me a green check if you agree, give me a red cross if you think this is wrong, so and so on. Right? So you can come in and play with this reaction way before the training to get yourself familiarized with the options you can ask the participants to be engaged in. If I am in the activities that involve people presenting, I usually use the speaker view so that the speaker is featured and other audience would be on the upper panel or the right side panel depending on the setting of your computer. But for now, let me get back to the gallery view to show you the next visual that we usually use, which is the visual aids. When we talk about the visual aids, it helps you see who's in your class and also helps your participants see what's going on in the class. So first, let me touch base on the name tent that we're going to use online. In the Zoom, you have the option to rename yourself, right, by clicking on the three dot at the upper right corner of your screen or your name. Once you click there, you can click rename. Right, so for me, if I want to say Note RSC, the name will change that way. So this is both for you and your participants. You can invite your participants to, instead of using their login IDs, change their IDs into the name that you can call by and address during the session. This will increase the level of engagement in the activities you're going to do in the class. Next, I'm going to demonstrate to you how we can share the visuals to let our audience see what's going on in the class. In the real classroom, we used to think of visual aids as workbook, handout, and the slide. Any paper-based thing now have turned and combined into a virtual visual aid. So today I'm going to touch on 3 visual aids that we often use: the PowerPoint, the web-based tool, and lastly, the multimedia that you have to share both the audio and the visual at the same time. Let me first start with the PowerPoint slide. First of all, you have to have all the visual aids pre-prepared opened so that once you click share screen, it will appear as an option on your dashboard. And as I mentioned, I'm going to start with the PowerPoint slide. I'm going to click PowerPoint, click share. It will appear half screen just like this. So like in the real class, we're going to share this to our students using slideshow so that it's full screen. And the virtual visual aid works 2 ways, 2 functions. Just as the visual aid, and also you can invite collaboration from the students using this as a workbook, a collaborative workbook, or a collaborative flip chart. You can ask the students to annotate. Just click annotate and there'll be options that you can ask them to do. Again, clear instruction is very important. So I might say, everybody, this is the agenda for today. I'd like you to please help me select by circling which agenda would be most applicable to you. Then I would leave a minute or half a minute for the students to make the marks, follow the instruction. Then I would facilitate this session. Another tool that could be fun is the stamp tool. So the students can select the heart, the star, the arrow. Your instruction might be, please put a stamp on just one point on this slide that you would take back and use at home. Other than that, you can ask people to type in the white space, what they think of the agenda. Just one word you think of the agenda. I would say happy. Make sure that you also give the instruction for them to click out once finished typing, or else you, the instructor, will not see what they type on their screen. Once you finish all this, you can facilitate with a learning point. Once done, you can clear the screen by selecting clear drawings, and everything will go away. You would click out and then stop sharing, go back to your Zoom screen, the normal gallery view to see their reactions, or you can ask everyone to give me a reaction to the activity we just did. So people who like it would react with a laugh, surprised, or a heart, or congratulations. Next, I will show you how to share a web-based visual aid. I call this web-based visual aid because there are so many virtual visual aids that you can use these days. Just for our classes, we use Miro a lot, which is a flip chart application. The web-based visual aid experience sometimes confuse both the trainer and the participants because you have to work or toggle back and forth between two windows. So just make sure you are facilitating, giving a clear instruction which one to focus on. So in my case, what I usually do is to say to the participants, so we're going to do an activity on a collaborative flip chart called Miro. I am going to first demonstrate to you how it works on the screen. Then after I finish my demonstration, I'm gonna give you the link to follow me there. Now I would share the screen, and with it being a web-based application, click on the web browser that you pre-open your Miro on. Share the screen, show them how you're going to use Miro. Then I would personally stop sharing, go to the chat box and paste the link that you've already copied and ask everyone to follow you to the Miro board. Now you click back to the Miro board and you can follow my demo on how to teach on Miro in another clip, but then you can start facilitating on just one board rather than toggling back and forth between Zoom and Miro. Once you're done with Miro, go back to the Zoom screen, open the gallery view, and see the reactions of the participant. And last visual aid I'm going to show you is the multimedia. So mostly we play our multimedia on YouTube. And this is how we share multimedia. Click on the share screen, click on the browser that you have your YouTube opened. Mine is, again, Microsoft Edge. Also, don't forget these two steps. Click share sound and optimize for video clip, then click share. If you don't do those two steps, your audience won't be able to hear or see your video. So please don't forget to do that. Once you're done, stop sharing and come back to the gallery view to ask and have a real-time face-to-face conversation with your participants. Next, before I go to the engagement part of this presentation, I would like to introduce you to a function that would allow you to assign other people as co-host. For example, when you're teaching and there are disruptions like a call or someone rings the doorbell, you can also assign a co-host to the person who's in the meeting with you. So right now I am the host of this meeting. I want to assign a participant to be a co-host. So what I will do is click on the More button, and you can see the option of making a co-host or a host. So if I click on Make Host, I can leave the meeting and the meeting is still on. But if I don't do that, what's going to happen is if I click End the meeting's going to end for all. If you're interested, I can make another clip to explain and elaborate on the authority of the host and co-host in detail. So let me know in the comment section if you want to know more about that. But for now, I think we're ready to engage our participants. So let's see some of the engagement options that we have as a trainer on Zoom. The first thing that I'd like to share to you is the polls function. Polls can be created when you are a host, but not a co-host. So make sure that you have the host ability first. When you're the host, you can pre-create the poll before the session, or during the session, you can also create the poll. I'm going to show you both ways. So this is the poll that I created before the session. And I do this in the web-based control of the Zoom backstage. If you pre-prepare your poll, once you click launch, I launched this one, so I'm just gonna relaunch polling and continue. On your participant's mobile phone or screen, the poll will come up. Once they finish answering, you're gonna see this answer, and you're gonna also see how many of your participants have voted. So usually we would facilitate this part and say 2 people haven't voted yet, so and so. And then once everybody has answered the poll, we would end the poll and then share the results to the participants. Another way to do this is to create the poll as we go in the class. So you click edit, and this will lead you to the web-based Zoom control. So you can type in the question that you come up in the class. For example, which answer is the best? Right, so I'll say 1. What is the best way to communicate? Let's say verbal, non-verbal, and words. This comes from our communication class. You can select the poll to be a single choice, meaning you force the participants to choose only one out of the 3, or it can be a multiple choice, meaning people can vote on all of them. Again, voting, usually the basis of it is no right or wrong, it's just a majority, so and so, right? But then again, the use of polling can be varied into using this as a quiz or test too. But for now, I'm gonna just save poll, and I am going to launch this back in the Zoom. Once you come back to Zoom, you will see that your second poll has already been created. So whenever the participant is ready to answer, you can just launch this poll. And then once your participants click submit, you will see that everybody has voted. In my case, there's only 1 participant here. You can end polling and share the results. And that is basically how we do polling in the class. The rest are the credits of facilitation, so feel comfortable facilitating the no right or wrong answer or the poll results at the end of the day. Now, the last engagement tool that I would like to introduce to you is the breakout room. Imagine in the real classroom, you would divide people into groups of 5 or groups of 3, sit at separate tables to have different collective learning, then share later. You can do that also on Zoom. What you have to do is just click here, Breakout Rooms, and I'm gonna just simulate how you would first see the screen. You would see these options. Create how many breakout rooms? Zoom is gonna ask you. Would you like Zoom to assign randomly, automatically, or assign manually? Usually at RSC, we are quite considerate about cultural and exchange in diversity, so we like to assign people manually. So let's say I want to create 5 rooms, and there are some participants who haven't joined me too, so this is another use of manual assignment. But for now, I only have 1 person to join me, which is node number 2. I will click on node number 2, assign her to room 1. I, who is the main facilitator, will be in the room called the main room. Then, once I am ready, or the other facilitators say, let's go to the breakout room session, we would click here to open all rooms. And what this is going to do is send a message to Miss Nude number 2 to click accept or decline the invite. And now I just click accept, so I am the only one left in the main room. When everybody has left to their breakout room, you can send broadcast message to say you have 5 minutes left. And once you broadcast, this message will go to all of the participants in every breakout room. Once time is up, you just click close all rooms. Your participants are going to get a notification that in 60 seconds, the room is going to be closed. If you get questions like, can I leave the room before the room ends? The answer is yes. They have, the participants in the breakout rooms have the option to leave when they want to, and that will not close the breakout room. And so now, Miss Nude number 2 just left the room, and she's gonna join me in the big room soon. And here she is. Alright, so now we come to the end of our basic Zoom for Government features. I walk you through 3 steps of using Zoom from preparation to the end. I would just like to add that when you close this out, because of the setting that we set for our logins, you will have the recording stored on your computer. So you can just go to the folder, My Document, and Zoom will automatically create a folder that stores both the video and the graphics you created in the class. With that said, this is all I have for you today. If you want to know the specifics of Zoom, please let me know in the comment section so that I can do another clip on YouTube to explain that to you. I hope you have fun facilitating your training session online, and soon we'll see you virtually. Thank you very much and good luck!